Hey guys, this episode's gonna be a little bit different. A, happy Thanksgiving. B, I recorded this episode with. Hey guys, this episode's gonna be a little bit different. A, happy Thanksgiving. And B, we were watching the Croods for Thanksgiving. You know, it has a theme of family. And I figured better to watch this film with than, friends, essentially family. So I called my best friend. Oh, oh, okay, it's just you. That's fine, I guess.
Yeah,
I, I,
and
I mean, I specifically asked for my closest friends, but I guess you'll do.
well, we're not closest friends.
No, I
We're
don't even know
family.
your last name. Hi, everyone, welcome to Unskripted.
Names don't matter.
Yay, it's Unskripted, Jack's here. Um, so, this is a
Yeah,
bit
I'm
different of
here.
an episode. I only have one curtain up in the background because I ran out of duct tape. Fun fact, it's actually true. Um, I don't know how good any of the audio sounds, and, uh, hoping for the best. Jack, you gonna do a quick clap real quick so I can sync some audio?
Hold on, give me a second.
Oh, wait, hold on. Alright, 3, 2, 1. Three. Oh God. 3, 2, 1.
I'm on my bed right now, so this is really bad.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Good enough. Maybe my mic will have caught that.
I'm
Maybe it
literally.
won't. Um.
We'll see.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll get enough. Um. So
Hopefully,
Jack, you want to talk about the Croods?
yes. That
Cool.
is
So
the only reason why I'm here.
yeah. Not because we're friends. um.
No,
So I remember liking this movie a lot more than, or I remember liking this movie a lot less than I actually did this time through. Hey guys, real quick, you can see I'm like in self-management setup, but I just wanted to record a quick initial thoughts before I got on call with Jack. I'm not recording Jack's initial thoughts because I don't have the setup for that, and we are quarantined right now. Well, he's quarantined at least. Anyway, beyond any points, I remember watching Croods. I remember being underwhelmed by Croods. Um, as like an 8-year old, me being underwhelmed was saying a lot about how bad a movie was because I liked almost anything. So I'm not anticipating good things about the Croods, but here I am with my ice cream and my sketchbook and a lot of garbage. And me and Jack are gonna go watch the Croods. Happy Thanksgiving. But I know you said equal amounts more last time.
uh, well, I definitely remember when it came out, and I definitely remember enjoying it a lot then. But then again, it was been years since I've seen it because it's the Croods.
Are you
So
telling me you
like,
don't watch Croods every 6 months?
no, I don't. It is not one of those movies where I go back to quite a lot. But yeah, after watching it again, I was like, yeah, this was good. I had a good time.
Yeah, that's how I was. I was very like, look, I'll admit the animation on it was very rough at points. I think we compared it last night when we were on call to Ice Age, the original Ice Age. Um,
At times,
yeah, at times it looked really cool, and at other times it looked really e. But
you
the
could tell
right,
like,
the characters
this
are
one
all
a
really
little bit.
charming and fun, and the plot was pretty okay.
For what it is in a simple time, needs a simple plot, you know?
Yeah, end of the world kind of.
Because like,
It has the plot of an Ice Age movie, and we all know I'm a sucker for Ice Age movies.
yeah, which is then why it's weird how when you were little, you didn't care for this.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't like this as a kid. I must have just been like tired or something, because like I don't remember disliking it, just being like uninterested by it. Um, but
Yeah,
let's just
I
talk about some of
mean,
the performances, because
I can see that.
Nick Cage gave a classic Nick Cage performance. I think last night we muted because Jack and I couldn't actually watch this together, so he was watching on his TV and I was watching on the computer, and there was gonna be some echo if we didn't mute. And
Yeah.
we were just unmuting whenever we had something to say, and we muted, and immediately I unmuted and it just said like the first line of this movie being Nick Cage screaming is perfectly in character for Nick Cage.
Whenever there was a classic Nicolas Cage moment, it was an immediate unmute, and we're like, there it is. There's something Nick Cage right there, and then went back to muting. Then
Yeah.
you'll know it.
Well,
You know the moments.
and I don't know how much of this movie was improv and how much of this movie was, uh, scripted. I would assume most of it was
Yeah,
scripted,
I'm
but
sure.
I
Yeah,
want to throw out
mostly.
some other
I
Nick
would
Cage
assume there's
lines
a
that
few
really
things.
I loved. I call it a ride,
Mm-hmm.
which rhymes with grug. That is something I've not stopped thinking about. Also, when they brought it back in such a good way with I call it a hug, it rhymes with grug. Like you brought up, like I wonder if they wrote Grug's name just to fit that, but like that was good, like
Yeah,
development. It's good
it was, and
storytelling.
there was a lot of that.
Yeah.
Especially the joke with him and the mom, the grandma.
Yeah.
At the beginning.
Yeah.
It was
No,
like,
a lot of it.
like whenever she went missing and was like, oh, she's dead, and then it's like, oh, such a disappointment when he finds out that nope, she's not dead,
But then they
or
grow
the constant
together.
like death joke. Yeah, and then at the end it was like, I'm happy you're here, from both sides. They're
Right.
both like, I like you now. You're good. You're good now. You
Um.
know.
s- So we're recording this on Tuesday, before a day before the new Croods comes out. But I do want to like about this movie. Like, it did make me excited to see the new one. I think we talked about this last night. Neither one of us are gonna go see it in theater. Like, it's just
Mhm.
not the movie we haven't seen any
Not
movies in
yeah.
theaters
I'm sure.
since. Oh, Jack saw Star Wars, but we haven't seen any like new movies in theaters since theaters closed in March. And The Croods is not gonna be the
Yeah.
first movie I see back.
No. If anything, it'll be Tom and Jerry.
Ooh. Or Sonic 2, if they push Sonic 2. Sonic was the last movie I'd see in theaters. It's only fair if we come full circle on that too. But um
Yeah, I can say.
more talk about the characters, because Ryan Reynolds also had a great performance as Guy. Um
Oh yeah.
it
I
it's a
feel like
pretty
all the people that they got to voice cast did a great job
Oh, absolutely. I'm just
doing
naming a couple in particular
voiceover.
here. I'm not saying anyone else did a bad job. Um but
Oh
I
yeah,
want to
no,
say,
I'm just
because
making it
Guy's
clear.
character is
Everyone.
kind of how do I want to put, it's like a pretty cliche, like, caveman going in the modern era, like, ooh, look, I'm having ideas. I call this
Yeah,
an umbrella. I don't remember any of his other inventions. Oh, he had like the acting puppet thing that we were
yeah,
making fun
the
of because
hunting
they were
tips.
furries.
Well, they were trying to you know get the
Seduce.
whatever animal it was. Yeah, they were trying to seduce, and then
One
use
thing
it
leads
to
to
their
another. Hey,
benefit.
that's what you call an awakening, my friend.
That is true.
I really hope in the next movie Grug just is a full on furry.
We can only hope.
Yeah.
That better be the reason why. That if it's anything else, I think
Yeah, I
we can't
agree.
watch it.
Um, I I think that was a really, like, because even though it is kind of a cliche before, like, role, I feel like Ryan Reynolds really made it his own and like made
Yeah,
it likable.
very different. Like
Yeah.
you don't like it really plays the whole thing with like, oh, these are cavemen. This is a new uh I guess phase, being more modern as they say. But
Right.
at the end it's
It's
like you
bringing
don't you
it's
they kind of combine the two,
yeah,
you know?
it's if the second one is about like really entering modern technology, the first one was about like them just beginning to, because Guy is like, the next step in evolution kind of.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um the last performance I really want to just credit here is Emma Stone. Again, the guy who played uh little Dwight in The Office was in this, and he was great. The mom was great. The baby was really fun to
hmm
watch. But I want to Emma Stone plays Eep, who is like the main girl, and
Yeah.
the whole movie's kind of about her. She's like the centerfold, and again, just
Mhm.
another really good performance. Like I always forget Emma Stone is as good as an actress as she is until I see her in something. Because I just associate her with
Yeah,
Amazing Spider-Man. I associate Amazing Spider-Man as bad because I don't remember anything from it. But
yeah,
she's really like, she's in Zombieland. She's in this.
yeah.
um, do you have anything you want to talk
Go
about in
ahead.
this movie?
Yeah, the humor. I want to go back to that and not just talk about jokes in general. I know this is like a kids family movie, but there was a lot more humor that I enjoy than I remember. You know,
I feel like it
like there
wasn't.
was a lot of jokes that stuck with me that
Yeah,
I
and I
would be
feel
like,
like
yeah,
it
this is
wasn't even
kind of
like
my
necessarily
kind of
adult
humor.
jokes. It was just legitimately funny stuff, you know?
Yeah, yeah. And then there was a few things that we kind of made jokes, just because
Because we're goofing
we were
around at this
watching.
movie, yeah.
Yeah, we were goofing around, which is like a great part of I guess, this movie experience. I mean, imagine all these other movies that you watched that are so bad if it was like this
Oh,
type thing that we just
absolutely.
did.
Especially the ones that are like the little ghosts where I could have just sat down and just. Because I was still making fun of it on my own at like 2 in the morning. Um,
Yeah, but then you could, it's like that shared experience. You could be
yeah,
like, I
I love,
can,
that's why I love movies so much. There's just such a communal aspect to them. Um,
and
but
not to say
yeah,
this was
I
on
think
those levels of those bad movies, because this was an actually
this is
good
a
movie
great
that I
movie.
would.
Yeah, this is fantastic.
Oh yeah, this is good.
I think one problem that a lot of people think DreamWorks falls into because of Shrek is they like hide so many adult jokes in there. I don't even remember any adult jokes from that movie last night. It was
I don't
legitimately
think so.
just
I think it
funny
was all.
stuff.
Yeah, I think what you see was what you got. It's like
Yeah,
there wasn't like a hidden layer to it. Like, especially if you go back and watch the first Shrek, there's like a tons of
there's a
them in
lot
there.
of stuff. Yeah,
There's a lot in there, and this one's like, no, this one's actually a family one. There really is no hidden meaning, double sided joke.
it
It's
is Nick
just
Cage being
pure
Nick
joke.
Cage, so that is probably like PG-13 at least right there. Like just Nick Cage warning.
They very much like toned that part down, but like he's still, he's going
He's still
for it.
his first line is ah!
Just his screaming, and then what was it? The sign like, oh I the sign like, oh, I'm
Ah,
dead, I'm dead.
another moment of Nick Cage showing his furry side in this film. Um,
Yeah,
but I mean, again, let's talk about the animation a little bit because I know we talked about it a little bit briefly in the
hmm
beginning. You mentioned before we watched the movie that you felt like the first movie, the one we watched, Croods, felt like it had more of a
yeah.
realistic kind of animation. The second one looks almost cartoony.
I mean, it's I would say that because it's the first one, and that's what I like put it to, so it looks more real. And I guess the good example I can give right now, if I was to compare it to another set of movies, was the Incredibles, and the first one and the second one. Since there's so much time between the two, that the first one, since I've seen it a lot more and I'm used to that, that one looks more real to me. Not to say that the sequel does a bad job. It
It's
has
so
more of
advanced,
that.
right? Comparatively,
Yeah,
I
it's
think like
advanced
also
to
comparing like
looks
the early Toy
different
Stories
but the
to the new one
same.
is the same
You know?
probably way. I don't know. I haven't seen Toy Story 4, but I know Toy Story 3 was a huge jump in time as well.
Yeah, it's like you're missing that what was it? That
Nostalgic
natural
feel almost.
progression of animation.
Sure, sure. Um, well, I do want to say
You
at
know?
moments like I was paying attention to that especially because you said it. At moments, the animation did look like almost like wow, that could just be an actress, and I wouldn't have caught it on. Um, but at other point, like
Yeah.
if you're thinking, I'm thinking Ice Age 1 here, and it's like 2002 animation. If you think about the humans in that movie, they're rough. And like,
Oh yeah.
I think honestly, most of the time, the movie looked more like that than anything else. Um, and I get it's not a Disney budget, but it's 2013 and it should have been more, and they had Shrek carrying
It's
them,
DreamWorks.
right? Like it's
Yeah.
still got a big budget behind it, and
It's big enough.
I feel like the animation didn't have that excuse to be that far behind. But
Yeah,
with
I
that
mean,
being
you
said, I
probably
think it
noticed
made up
more,
for
but
it.
like,
I don't think it was distractingly bad, you know?
Yeah, that's like if it's to me the way I see like a bunch of that stuff is if it really distracts me,
Mm-hmm.
then I really notice it. Like if it's a problem that I see it, it's probably pretty big,
Right.
you know?
But I think for I saw it, but I don't think it was like, oh my god, I can't enjoy this movie because of it, you know?
Oh yeah, it has enough to like keep you over. It's not like, oh my gosh, they did this bad here. They this doesn't look the same. This is all bad,
Mm-hmm.
It was consistently good.
Okay, so we talked about the writing, we talked about the characters. Let's talk about the designs real quick, because I really like I feel like in animated movies especially, you have a lot of like realm you can run around with design with. I feel like they did a really good job of expressing
Mm-hmm.
all these characters through their design. Because like Guy is like
Oh
a
yeah,
little bit more modern, and so he's got a more modern man kind of look. And he's
mm-hmm.
got a good chest. I'm just saying, he's the only one showing some chest. Where's my Nick
I mean,
Cage
I don't know.
chest? Kidding. Um, but no,
Too
all
powerful.
the
I can't see
cavemen
it.
like they don't clash with him, but they're a little bit of an opposition between them. Um,
Yeah, they got more of, like the teeth that are really spread out and more like
I think they
sharp.
really pointed the sloped forehead, with the really tall eyes,
Yeah,
which is
like that one scene in the movie where like everyone's together the first time, and they like point out like, oh look, I look like this, they look like that,
mhm.
and to really show how different they are.
I have a couple scenes here I want to talk about in particular. The first scene, not the cave wall scene, because I actually really like that. It was a pretty good introduction, especially for a kids movie. It explains what's going on, it throws you in
Yeah,
this
the
world.
not
I want to talk
the
about the scene where they're all
not the 2D one, but
right. Well, I want to talk about the one where they're all running around, because I even pointed out like, is it bad that I'm uninterested in this? But thinking back, like that was a
yeah.
really good opening scene, other than like the cave wall one, which again,
Mm-hmm.
perfect introduction. But like the first scene they throw you in, it's for those who haven't seen this movie, it's basically showing off all the character traits of the characters in a natural setting.
Yeah,
So it they had to hunt for food, and they're all sprinting after this bird or whatever to get its egg. And
yeah. It
clumsily
shows
they
like
do.
what they all can do.
Yeah, it shows all their ability. Like it's a really good setup for the movie. That's something most writers do, but I think this movie really did a good job of that. And then when they finally do
Mm-hmm.
get the egg, and the dad only gets like a drop, and it's like, oh, that's fine. I ate, like it shows like how much he loves his family that he
Yeah,
doesn't.
yeah.
Um,
He doesn't care about the food as
right.
long as they got it. He's good.
The other scene I wanted to talk about in particular was the one where the dad is drawing on the cave wall, and then the tiger thing comes in, and then he has the idea to like create the airplane kind of thing. That was so clever, for like especially for this guy who's never had his own idea in his life other than the rock you put yourself on and then fling yourself down a cliff. Um, like honestly,
Yeah.
I think it's supposed to be better than any of the ideas Guy has had, you know, but because it's just so multi-stage
Mm-hmm.
and it's setting up so many different things. It's setting up the birds and it's setting up the tar and it's setting up. I feel like there's a third thing it got set up by, but maybe I'm wrong. Um, but it's just so creative and
Probably
it's
just
so
the
fun and
different animals.
maybe it it's just so enjoyable, like getting to see that like ta-da
Yeah.
moment. It's just you're just by that point you're rooting for the character. Grug is everyone's fan
Mm-hmm.
favorite, and we all know it. Um,
Well, yeah. I mean, if it isn't,
yeah. What are you doing
what
in
are
your
you?
life if you don't have a poster on your wall that says "I love Grug"? Uh, it's behind the curtain for me. Don't worry about it. Right here.
Oh yeah, same here, which
Same.
is
Yeah, of
also a
course.
window. Which is if it
Um.
breaks, I'm going to my death.
Also, one last thing before we go into review podium, I'd ship Grug and Guy more than I ship Guy and Eep. Anyway, moving on. um,
No, I agree.
cool.
That's how it should be. You should care about those. I mean, they had the
I heart
better
Greg.
furry moment, and then the first one.
I heart Geig. Um, Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay.
I haven't written
I
any.
love that.
I haven't written anything for review podium, but I say our three topics are characters, uh, animation. No, let's do writing, animation, and entertainment. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay. So for animation, obviously, I think it should get a 2 stars. Do you agree?
Yeah. I was just about to say 2 stars.
Yeah, that seems fair. Because at moments it looked really good, and a lot of the time it looked okay. But again, it didn't.
Yeah.
That's not dictating where this
It's not
movie
to the
falls
point of
forever.
distracting.
The writing was really good. I say we give the writing a 4 at least.
That sounds good to me.
Okay,
It
cool.
was
Um,
really on point.
to explain that, in case you just want to recap, the humor was really good. The characters bouncing off each other was really fun. And then when they separate,
All their banter worked together.
right, they all kind of mesh together, but they still stand on their own as a character. Other than like the baby, there's not
Yeah.
one that's like I can't imagine that baby not being, or I can't imagine that character being able to, be by themselves. They were all pretty
Yeah.
right. They're all pretty fleshed out, and I really liked it. Um,
Hmm.
and entertainment, obviously, the one we always do. Or look, I feel like it's unfair to give it a 5 because I did feel a 5 last night when we were watching, but also we watched it together, so that probably boosted a little bit, like you
Yeah.
said. Maybe
I
I
would have gone with a 4, 4 or 5.
yeah, I
Either
think we give it a
or
4
doesn't
just to be fair, because most of these movies I
to
watch
really
alone.
give it its own thing. Hmm.
So what's that put us at 8, 10 stars? That's not bad. That's like what the first SpongeBob movie, I think. This is on the same level as the first SpongeBob
Yeah.
movie, probably. Um,
It's the first one I've been a part of in months. I think the last one I was a part of
Strike.
was either Strike or Artemis Fowl. It's one of the two. I
No,
can't
Artemis
remember
Hall
which
was
one
first
was
because
done
Artemis
first.
Hall was when I was still animating. Animating.
Right. It's been
Okay.
forever since I've looked back at any
Both
of
those
that.
movies I
So
tend to block from my brain.
true.
But
So
can I just say,
I
not that it relates to
after
this
that,
episode at all, but I do think back to Artemis Fowl a lot, and I do think back to that with joy, not because it was a good movie, but because like hey, we had a good time watching it 'cause we were around. It's like, well, this movie is what the heck's
it was
happening?
us.
But also like I had to watch it again for a second time with my parents because I didn't remember anything from it.
And I really tried to make you not do that.
Yeah, Jack was against that, and thanks shows your
No,
real
because
friendship
I'm
there,
like,
bud.
come on, I know there. I'm trying to help you. I know there's some things that you're looking for, and here it
Um,
is. I somewhat remember.
but I
You're like,
think
no, I have to. I have to.
I think it was just such like a moment where it's like it was awful, but it's still like it makes everything else better, and I think we talked about this. So, um,
Yeah. Well, this is the Croods, which was good.
great. If we're gonna leave, okay, we're gonna end this video on a high note. That was a bad joke. Okay, this movie was good. Thank you guys for watching. You have anything you want to plug, Jack?
I've got nothing
Cool. This is
besides
Jack.
this.
He's my
So go.
he's my partner in crime. He's also runs this channel, but he
Yes,
doesn't do anything. We have a
I
Twitter, we
want
have
to
an
do more.
Instagram, we have a DeviantArt. We post videos every Thursday, and I mean, there's other series that we're supposed to be running, but we're just not. Maybe we'll do
Yep.
more podcasts. Now that
So
we can
feel
do
free
this
to
and I
let.
don't have to edit as much, maybe we will do more podcasts. Just kidding, I'll have to edit at least
I'm
equal
down.
amounts. But it's fine.
Whenever you want. You're the person with everything.
Yeah, I don't have any time though, that's the problem.
Yeah, I'm good for anything.
Yeah. Maybe
Anyway,
we'll do this more often, Jack. Maybe we'll watch some more movies together. I have one coming up in a couple weeks that we've
I
talked
hope so.
about that I'm really excited about. No spoilers
Yeah,
if you remember what it is. I don't know if you do or not. But anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you
I
next week.
was
I'll see
gonna
you next
be
week.
nice and say give it a yep, but nope. I have no idea what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
I didn't think so. Jack and I were talking about this. It's not a big deal. But I'll see you next week. At least maybe Jack will be here. Probably not.
Who knows? Just give it a like, subscribe,
Hit subscribe.
hit the bell,
Yeah,
do the
Jack, do the
YouTuber
begging
stuff.
for me. Yes, yes.